Which ready-made striker should Liverpool sign this summer? I've got 4 options for you, 4 players ready to go. Let's get into it. But first, what does Arne Slot look for in a striker? Okay, so I've got a couple of quotes here. The simple answer is goals. That's why you play a forward. He needs to produce goals. Apart from that, in modern day football, a number 9 needs to work hard and be part of an intense pressing team. If you look at the teams in the Champions League, all 11 players work their ass off. So that's what I'm expecting from our number 9. He's part of an intense pressing team, but in the end, it's helpful that the number 9 of Liverpool scores goals. Okay, so knowing Liverpool, I'm going to base the striker likelihood off the following 4 criteria. Okay, so their goal output or contribution output, their price, the wages, and the age of the player. Because we don't like signing old players normally. Okay, so let's look in the first option, and he's an old player. So let's go into it. Harry Kane. Okay, so these are his last 2 seasons for Bayern Munich. 86 matches, 79 goals, 21 assists, 100 goals and assists in total, 1.16 goals or assists per game. So an absolutely ridiculous output from Harry Kane. Absolutely top-class striker. Can do it all. Can pass, can hold up the ball. He works hard, can finish. Obviously, he's great in the air. He's the complete package. Would Liverpool be interested in signing him based on that criteria, though? Let's have a look. So his age, 31 turning 32, which is a big no. Usually we tend to sign players, 22 to 25 and try and build them into the next big thing. We're not against signing players in their prime, but Harry Kane is well past the typical prime. He's in the later stages of his career. His wages, he's apparently on £400,000 per week currently, which is similar or the same to Salah and Van Dijk. The interesting thing about his price tag is apparently there's a £65 million release clause that comes into effect on January 26. Okay, so not the upcoming transfer window, but the one after that. So I'm not sure whether you could rock up with 65 million at the end of the season to Bayern Munich and go, hey, we want Kane, and they would accept it. You might even have to add a little bit more on top to get them interested, or they might just flat out refuse it. But in terms of the price, that is totally acceptable. The output is totally amazingly okay, so that's a huge tick. It's just the wage and the age that are a huge problem. But let me make this argument to you, okay? So let's say because we've got Salah and Virgil for the next couple of seasons, would it not be a good idea to add Harry Kane on and try and win everything for as long as Mo and Virgil are there? So for the next 2 or 3 seasons, have a real crack at winning the Premier League and the Champions League. Is that worth the outlay, the risk for this age? I think it is. Personally, I don't think it's something Liverpool would do though. All right, so let me know, would you want Harry Kane, or is it just so far-fetched you're not even entertaining the idea of it? Moving on, Victor Gyokeres. These are his previous 2 seasons at Sporting. Absolutely insane. 71 matches, 73 goals, 17 assists, or 100 goals and assists in total at 1.26 goals or assists per game. One thing I wanted to highlight, because it is Portugal, it's probably looked less favourably on than any of the other big leagues. But his record in the Champions League, and although it's a small sample size, is 6 goals and 1 assist from 8 matches. So, I mean, that's impressive in itself. One thing to also note is that he's actually leading the golden boot race over Salah at the moment, even with a negative coefficient that they receive in Portugal. So he's actually on beating Salah at the moment this season. So absolutely insane numbers. And apparently good at holding up the ball. His link-up play is not as good as Kane's and probably could use some improvement. He's a fantastic finisher, makes good runs, can use both feet, strikes the ball expertly well. In terms of the criteria, so the age is 26 turning 27. He's on £40,000 at the moment. Obviously, if Liverpool or another club were to sign him, that would jump up a huge amount. You'd expect somewhere at least 100k on top of that, maybe even maybe 150 to 200,000. I'm not sure, but there's no way that a big club is getting the player in this kind of form for that kind of wage. So huge jump, but that's totally acceptable. You'd expect Liverpool or any other club to be able to pay around the £200,000 per mark per week without so much as flinching. In terms of price tag, apparently he's looking Sporting looking somewhere between 50 and 70 million pounds for him this season, which again is something completely acceptable for Liverpool to be, or anyone else to be paying. And then the output, which is better than Kane's, is absolutely out of this world. If he can somehow replicate or get close to, or even 3/4 of as good as what he's currently doing, then it's an absolute win for anyone. You could even make the argument, if he even did half of what he's doing in the Premier League, it's still a complete success. So this would probably be my choice, and probably the best option I think Liverpool could do in terms of a ready-made striker. I don't know about what you guys think, but this is huge check marks everywhere. So, but let's move on to the next two players, because these players are getting linked a lot, and that's Julian Alvarez from Atletico Madrid. His stats are very interesting to me because they're nowhere near as good as the other three strikers on this list. He's got 86 matches, 38 goals and 14 assists, 52 goals and assists in total, or 0.6 goals and assists per game. The interesting thing with this for me is, like, statistically he doesn't look very good, but in the Champions League for both seasons, one would have been when he was with Man City, and one is with Atletico, obviously, but he's got 5 goals and 2 assists in 7 games, which is, one per game, and 7 goals and 1 assist from 10 matches, which is pretty close to 1 per game. It's just in La Liga and the Premier League that he hasn't really racked up the numbers. So maybe, I'm not sure as to why. It may be because Atletico play a really defensive style of football. I don't watch them enough to really know or comment on it. But in terms of a player, he's meant to be incredible at pressing, holding up the ball. He seems like a great finisher, really super talented guy. And he's only 25 years old. So that's a huge check mark for the age. The wage he's currently on is $113,000. He's just signed that deal, so if we were to buy him, I'd expect that to go up, but I'm not sure to what level it would go up. So maybe 150 to 200k again. I don't know. Like, this is complete and pure speculation, but you wouldn't expect it would be a huge bump. Nowhere near like Harry Kane levels or anything along those lines. The two biggest concerns are the price, because Atletico apparently paid around £80 million for him last season. So you'd be looking at a minimum of that, you'd expect, but you're probably more likely well over the 100 mark. And I'm not sure where over the 100 mark. That's if they were going to sell him. I don't know if that is something they would actually do, but somewhere well over 100 million, which is a huge outlay. And I'm not sure it's something that Liverpool would do. I mean, we've got the money to, but we also seem to like a bargain or someone who's undervalued for what they do. The second question is the output, which seems quite low, as I said, compared to the other players. But is that something that we're just seeing because he is young? The last 2 seasons, 23, 24. 24, 25. I'm not sure. Is he going to be one of the best strikers in the world, or is he already? I don't know. I don't know enough about Julian Alvarez. So if anyone in the comments has thoughts on him, like, is he worth it at that price? Is his output not indicative of how good he is of a player? I'm not sure. The final player of the ready-to-go striker targets is Alexander Isak. Really great numbers again. 66 matches, 44 goals and 8 assists, 54 goals and assists in total, or 0.86 goals or assists per game. The really interesting thing here is his consistency. Like, these are the last 2 seasons, 22 goals in 31 and 21 in 30. So really consistent. This is Premier League, so I mean he's tried and proven, that old saying. Pretty lackluster in the Champions League from a really small sample size. So, I mean, you can't really make any sort of determination there. But yeah, Premier League is absolutely smashing it. Those who have seen him know he's tricky. He can dribble. He's fast. He can strike a ball incredibly sweetly. He's got a shot on him. He's unpredictable too. He'll take a shot on early. He's really a fantastic player. I have had major concerns about his injury record, but these last 2 seasons, I mean, that's solid amount of games from him. So 30 and 31 so far as well. The big concerns here, obviously, the age range is perfectly fine. He's 25, turning 26, so going right into his prime. The wage is 120. The reason why I've put a cross here is because I'd expect this would be a massive jump. Like, he's probably the hottest commodity in world football right now in terms of a number 9. So there's probably going to be multiple clubs bidding for him. If one does, I'd expect others to come in, and I would expect him to get a big bump. So maybe somewhere between 250 to 300,000. And this is complete speculation. I have no idea. But that would be a huge number. Liverpool could pay it. They probably would, apart from the next point, which is his price tag is going to be absolutely insane. It's been touted as 120 plus, more realistically around 150 million. And I just don't think Liverpool would pay it. I don't think they would find value at that price tag. If he was the only option, like if he was the one that the club wanted, they would go after it, even at that price. I'm just not sure if that's where he is at the moment. In terms of output, yeah, as we said, absolutely incredible. But that's it. They're the 4 I've got for ready-made, ready-to-go strikers. I'll do another video on up-and-coming strikers, so the likes of Sesko, Edetike, and the like, as to who we could look at from there. But I just wanted to do ready-made, ready-to-go strikers. Who would you guys choose? I'd be really interested to see in the comments who you go for. As I said, I'd probably go for Gyokeres. It's just too good a output, price, wages, age to not have a serious consideration or a crack at. Like, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But how do you not go in for someone who's doing these kind of numbers? I don't know. But anyway, I hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. That would actually help me out a lot. And yeah, have a good one. Bye.